You have that big moment in the first half with Cam going down with 2 fouls, and Keyshawn obviously had some big minutes in there. What would you like from him just on both sides of the court?
Yeah, it wasn't a big moment. It was a bad deal. You know, that was a scary situation for him to get to. You know, he did that a lot earlier in the season, and he's gotten better at staying away from the silly fouls. We've talked to him ad nauseum about, you know, how important he is to our team, and he's just got to stay away from, you know, silly fouls. I don't want to take any away from his aggressiveness because that's his game, but just the silly ones. And he was disappointed, obviously, but I thought our guys stood up and I was proud that they handled it and kept it together. No one dropped their head, and we figured out a way to, you know, get through the half and get to halftime.
We've talked a couple of times just about, you know, certain trust you have with players and stuff, and obviously Keyshawn's been working his way back into the rotation and big minutes again tonight. Just where is your trust level with him right now, and how that's evolved since he returned to the team?
Pretty high. You know, he's a willing defender. He's been really working at it. He's been receptive to what we're trying to do with him on the defensive side of the floor. Doesn't take, you know, much to figure out that he's very talented offensively. Obviously, he's got great length, and he just gives us a different look when he's on the floor with his ability to, at 6'10", to, you know, play the 4, even the 5 if we want to go that way, and he can stretch the D, and it just gives us another scorer on there. And then, you know, he's underrated with just his driving ability, his passing ability. He really sees the floor, and, you know, he keeps getting better on the defensive end, and because of that, you know, he's on the floor more. You know, it's been really, really good. He's been a big shot in the arm for us the last 5 or 6 games.
And questions for Coach, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Go to this gentleman here, third row, and we'll go back to Justin.
Coach, just talking about the physicality of your team, staying the course for the full game as well, and kind of what you saw maybe shift there in the second half to kind of really take control, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, you know, we were really good on the glass in the first half on both sides, both offensively and defensively, and that was the thing we talk about most games, not just this particular game. And then in the second half, we were fine on the offensive glass. We were fine. We were good. I didn't think we were great on the defensive glass, especially to start the half. I think they got 4 or 5 rebounds in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and that's something we talked about a ton. And then I thought the difference was our guys really settled in defensively. I thought our ball pressure, I thought our ability to guard the ball, and everybody, you know, got into it, and it just kind of kept them at bay. And they're really good at getting to the rim. You know, they lead the league in percent of their shots at the rim, and that's something we really focused on, you know, coming into this week of doing our work out front, you know, doing our work on the ground, trying to, you know, avoid those situations as best we could. And then if we did, you know, really have good shield technique without the ability to take charges anymore, and then clean it up on the glass. And I just felt like out front our guards with Rams Davis and Shaquille Moore and DJ and Sean and those guys, you know, were really doing a good job of getting in the ball, and it let us, you know, get out and run a little bit and open up a lead.
Chris, since returning from injury, DJ's made 3 of his 4 3-pointers. Obviously, small sample size, but how big of a development could that be if he, you know, stays consistent within these next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I haven't told him this yet, and hopefully he doesn't pay any attention to these press conferences, which I'm sure he doesn't. We talk as a staff that certainly we didn't want him to get injured, and we're glad he's back. But he's slowed down a little bit, you know, because of it. I don't know if he's just not completely trusting it mentally yet, but his game has changed a little bit, and in our opinion, for the better. You know, he's not dribbling the ball east and west as much. He's has more economy in his game, and then his confidence in his shot. You know, I don't know. It's like you said, it's a small sample size, and you don't have enough, you know, shots to know if that's going to be, you know, the way it is going forward. But it certainly adds, you know, to the floor spacing, and, you know, another guy that they have to guard. But what I do love is, you know, he's back making defensive plays. I mean, he was really good in the first half on some of the defensive things that he did that you have to really watch to understand what he was doing. And then he was as happy as anyone in the locker room, even though he didn't do much in the second half, didn't play a ton of minutes, but he was celebrating.
Anything else for Coach before we let him go? We'll wrap it up with Justin.
You've talked a lot all year just about opportunities in this conference, and going on a 5-game winning streak, you put yourself in a position for a big week with Kentucky and Auburn coming up this next week. Just how, I guess, are you viewing these next two games, I guess, going forward?
Yeah, I haven't thought much about it until a few minutes after we left the locker room, and certainly it's a quick turnaround, and saw the score that Kentucky had today, and obviously they handled us very easily at their place. So hopefully our guys will be super motivated, and it's Kentucky. Everybody gets excited. I know our fans will be excited. We're going to have a rockin' hump, and it's just a great opportunity for us. It's just going to be a great opportunity. We'll certainly worry about Auburn later, but this was a big win for us. They were playing really well. We got a lot of respect for Coach McMahon and their staff, and they had this thing going with the big wins in South Carolina and then the home win against Kentucky, and I think that helped us. I really do. I think that helped keep our guys motivated, and so we could keep talking about how well they were playing, the teams that they beat, which they respect that, and I think that helped us in preparation.